Here I am, Treyway. I'm back with another video. Um, so yeah, here's a here's gonna be my first installment in the series of guides for like in-game bosses, and I'm here at Satan now. Just a quick run around for those that haven't gotten to Satan in the story or know little about him or even forgotten things. Um, Here's the first thing you need to know about Satan. The first thing you need to know is that to achieve him through the story, you gotta reach Edo. Once you reach Edo in the story, near the ending of Edo, he's the second to last big boss of Edo. And so he also drops a weapon and quite a few mats. So in the means of that, you can also craft a weapon that is a level 113 weapon from Satan. So it's also a really good starter weapon. A lot of people from the completion of these dungeons, especially if they try to do them on hell or they end up farming for the XP behind it, and it's not really too hard to hit 113, level 113 at this point in time on Onigiri. There's so many different ways to level up. But once you do reach the level 2 craft the weapons, you definitely want to be farming your way through Satan, and just to continue to farm. It's also a lot of people use the staves, which are really good, and they're easy to farm, easy to make. A lot of people do guards. Guards is not a little bit, they're quite a little bit harder than Satan himself, but they're still the guards are still pretty efficient and still relatively easy to grind, and not that hard to craft the weapons for. So with that being said, I will get into the guards another time, but let's just keep topic on Satan. I'm gonna try my best. So yeah, all right, so just to put that out there, I'm gonna show you Satan's weaknesses. Now I'm gonna use my strongest element. I'm gonna use my strongest element against him. Let me go ahead and repair this. I don't like to see weapons like that. For some reason, I just don't. Bear with me a little bit. My controller is terrible. Alright. Here's Satan's weaknesses. Once you reach Satan, here's a guide to help you, for the most hand. I'm going to run the dungeon and I'm going to show you his weak points and how to counter certain things. Now my controller isn't the best, so I might even die a couple times just because of the simple fact that I know that this controller like has a mind of its own. Like some of the buttons on this controller doesn't work, so yeah, I gotta get that fixed. I gotta get a new controller soon, very soon, so that I can properly play the game. But other than that simple fact, I stay away from trouble for the most part, and you want to keep fighting these bosses until you get like a sense of what they're gonna do next. You want to be able to predict them. You want to be able to counter. You want to be able to block. You want to be able to make the runs as effective as possible. If you know all of their weak points and you know all of their moves, you don't have to be played into their hands. You can actually have them do as you please and, turn the tables and just destroy them. Whether that be helping other people or doing it for yourself, this is very useful information to know about Satan. But let's, before I even go into the dungeon, I hope I don't bore you up until this point, But before I go into the dungeon, I'm gonna show you what drops. Okay, so as far as the weapons, no, I didn't mean to click that. It's that controller again. I didn't mean to click that. But yeah, so you go into weapon smithing. I'm gonna use the bow for example. I'm gonna be more of a weaponsmith, so I'm gonna collect all of the recipes for most of the bosses in the game anyways, because I want to be able to make those weapons upon people's requests in exchange for like nice little deals or trades or OC. So I gotta get pretty strong for that, and I don't mind. Alright, so I'm gonna keep scrolling down. Alright, this Satan weapons. Yeah, I go past them. Yeah. Okay, so here's the bow. Okay, so the weapon that drops inside of the Satan dungeon is called the Galgos. And so you get random Satan weapons to identify from the drops in the dungeon. You can identify them, and once you get a Galgos, this is you can also I would say you mostly want to farm, like I say Hell is the most effective for each drop, Hell and Hard. Farming both of those could give you a better rate for what you need in the dungeons. And you also get more drops usually if you have like more party members involved and you're not just playing solo. That's generally like how it works. He becomes a little harder, a little tougher to kill, but in return it also ups the drop rate a little bit, so which is really cool. So that's why there's a such thing as body parties that exist, where we just have people that may not be teaming up, but they need an extra person in their party to get as much drops from the dungeons that they're trying to complete as possible. That's what we call a body party, and it helps out tremendously. But yeah, so we got the Galgos Star recipe, which is a grade up from the Galgos itself that drops in the dungeon, which you can identify for. And the Galgos Cross is the finality. It's the final version or final form of the weapon, and it is the level 113 weapon. You can also take a look at those at what the Galgos Cross is going to look like. You can do that with pretty much any weapon. If you have the recipe for it, you can take a look at it. It's not going to give you like a full scale view, but it will give you a general idea of what the weapon might look like having it in your hand. You can't really zoom in or anything, so don't count on it, so don't worry about that. But yeah, that's just some of the things you need to know. Now, as far as these mats here, you get a lot of these mats from Satan. Well, actually, you get all of these mats from Satan, and so he drops these become very, very key into making these weapons themselves. In order to make these weapons, you are required to get these drops in the dungeon. The drop rates, like I said, is increased when you have more people in the party, and sometimes when you like using drop boosts and whatnot. Yeah, so I'm just farming it just in case there's somebody. I'm farming it not only for like Fallen Angel Wings and Spellbook of Rage, but I'm farming it for like other people that are having trouble with Satan weapons, or they want a quick Satan weapon, or they want some Satan mats, just to have it in my inventory, honestly, if I'm being honest here. But yeah, so let's get right into it. I'm gonna use rain. I'm gonna use rain for the first run. And I know his true weaknesses, but this is my most powerful element. So off of power, I still should be able to kill him fairly quickly, but sometimes that doesn't always work. But here's the first thing you want to try whenever you're fighting a boss that you don't know. I'm pretending that I don't know Satan. So the first thing I'm going to try is my strongest element. You want to get some space in between him when he charges up. As you can see, that last move didn't do too much. I tried the perfect block that it didn't work that time. He's an up close fighter, so you gotta watch out. Keep your distance, especially as a bow. Oh my gosh, I lied right there. I'm gonna get on that side. See if we can back up, get him some space. Yikes. Perfect block that one. I feel like he's gonna spike the ground, yeah. So you give him space. Keep giving him space. Learn the moves so you get perfect block a lot more. Now, if you're right underneath the guy, it's almost inevitable you're gonna get shot. So don't struggle too much. But always be ready to just always be ready to block, because he's an up close fighter. Satan likes to reduce the gap in between you and him. He likes to fight very close. I could not get away. I don't know why my skill didn't. I died, but you know, I'm not worried. I don't know why my skill didn't recharge, or I don't know. It just feels like this dungeon is lagging, or like the frames are slow or something. I don't know. It's like a reaction. But probably so, from what you could tell. You know, Rain is not, he's not the weakest to Rain, you know. It's not the greatest run you've ever seen. I didn't really use my staff. Some people use staffs. I'm actually building up a staff. I'm trying to get used to using a staff so that I can heal myself while I'm in dungeon and stuff. But you kind of get the strategy. You want to keep fighting the guy until you get a pattern of different moves where you can counter them. And if you can counter all of his moves before he can activate the move, it's almost like you're not even vulnerable at all to any of his strikes. Alright, so here's what we're going to try. His weaknesses, Satan's weaknesses are holy first, and ice, I would say. With him being very, very weak to holy, and weak to ice. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the second option, so it should be a lot quicker. And again, for bow builds or any builds that strike from afar, you kind of want to spam this guy, as he's always looking to corner you or get as much HP off of you as possible. If he's not doing those two things, he's always trying to get, you know, like get the gap smaller between you and him. See how he's trying to corner me right there. So that didn't work, and I didn't get the perfect block him because of my controller. What you gonna do next? He probably sees that he's cornered. Okay. I definitely wasn't trying to do that move, but I guess it'll work. I'm struggling right now. Like, I guess it's to pay attention since it's so late at night. He's got me. These are all my faults. Like, I feel like I don't know, it's hard to pay attention, really. It's really hard. I shouldn't be dying in these dungeons. It's just so hard to pay attention. Look at that lag in between. I was surprised I was able to block. And to your advantage, you want to spam as quickly as possible to get out that damage output. I could definitely do a better run of that, honestly. I can kill him a lot quicker. But it was so hard to pay attention to his movement, the frames dropped, and this, that, and the third. But anyways, nonetheless, let me run back in there and give you a decent run. But yeah, this guy, the more you fight him, he becomes more predictable. He only has a couple of different attacks that he can pull off. Now, with the quickness is the scary part about it. And the fact that I have to keep my distance from him and counter on top of it while taking the opportunities to follow up with something else. Yeah, that definitely shouldn't have happened. It's so hard to block every single move like I normally do. I don't know. And he did a double. Like, what can I do right there? That was wild. Like, he just absolutely knew I was trapped right there. He absolutely knew I was trapped. Every now and again, you can't help it. These bosses get smart. Keep your distance, just like that. And honestly, what I found, the easiest thing to do is just run around this guy. Bro. He's getting smarter. Now he's making me pay attention. This is my old friend right here. I could do it better. I was just doing better runs of that anyways, which is weird. Guess because I'm tired or something. Think that's it, maybe. I plan on putting more, I'm planning on trying to get all first aids on this weapon. That would be nice. But yeah, so for the last thing, I'm not gonna bother you with another run of his ice weakness. I'm gonna go ahead and put on holy. I'm gonna use this holy weapon. This is the Elsin, and I'm gonna show you how weak Satan is to holy, and why it's such. I would call it the first option ahead of ice to kill Satan with. Don't get me wrong, ice is a good substitute if you don't have a lot of holy element, but if you do have holy, go ahead and use it. Satan hates holy. Nope, not trying to click on that. There we go. I'm trying to eventually get this El Sin to have I'm gonna put all Exorcist arrows on it to create a holy weapon. I have 2 El Sins at this point. My first one, I put all lightning shots on it, so it's a lightning El Sin. This one I actually managed to get Amaya's punishment on there. It's the Oogie. So I'm gonna turn this into an all holy El Sin, which is kind of weird. So in a sense, I'm gonna try to make probably 2 revs, or maybe a rev in the Supreme. I don't know what I'm gonna do there. This is my fault here, and that was a huge lag. I'm surprised I blocked it. I'm trying to get out of here. Try to get out of trouble as soon as possible. Likes to trap you. You can do so much more damage. You just really smart right now. I feel like there's just more people in the party. He did a double to trap me. These frame rates are dropping like crazy, but as you can see, it's doing a lot of damage. I'm giving Satan a nice scare. We try to protect ourselves for the time being. Hit him with a Maya's punishment. There we go. That wasn't hard. If I can only avoid some more of those hits, so I don't eat as much damage, like I can keep some more HP on me. It's kind of hard to keep your distance sometimes. I don't know. He's becoming. It seems what the pattern that I found out is that he's becoming more unpredictable the more people you have in the party. That's for sure. So he's definitely adjusting to party size and increasing in difficulty of trying to like predict what he does. Ever since I joined this body party, he's like literally been like using like strategic moves to ensure that he has a chance of killing me. I find it a little ridiculous, but you know, he's still supposed to be a challenge. He's still supposed to be a boss, nonetheless. Alright. I'm gonna let him trap me. Go ahead and roll in here, buddy. See what you got next. Don't let him trap you too much. I'm gonna run around. Alright, you want to start here. Let me get out of that. This was just an unfortunate spot to be in. Try not to trap yourself like I just did. There we go. But I will say this. To complete this dungeon, honestly, being that I don't really center myself around more ice and holy, I'm relatively weak to Satan. Not only that, he's an up close fighting boss. He has a variety of moves to allow him to keep me on edge the entire time while dealing a lot of damage, whether he's up close or afar. So he's got something for both. Well, pretty much all builds in the game. But I will say this: he's not as. What I've noticed is that he's not as resilient to up close fighters. So if you're an up close fighter and you have like a lot of defense, you really will you will kill him a lot more because you're able to tank a little bit more. Me, being the amount of HP I am, it doesn't take that much to get my HP lowered. Now that's the only thing I'm literally missing within my build, is I'm trying to use the whiz that I get from leveling up to increase and max out that whiz. I want to do as many critical hits as possible when I spam my skills. I also do plan on increasing more so my power stat just for extra affinity in general, and also HP. I want to kind of keep it even with the power and the vitality so that I have HP and like SP recovery. I mean like HP and HP recovery is equal, but it's just kind of how it is. But yeah, so that kind of sums up Satan a little bit. That kind of sums him up. I want to make something. I kind of want to make something for Satan. I know my inventory is full. She might be full too. Nope, she's not. That's good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and give her all of my recipes. And I'm not gonna be using XP until Saturday and Sunday, I believe. So yeah, not worried about those. And if I'm being honest, I need to grind Ryu more than I need to grind XP as of late. I need to keep my Ryu at maximum. So yeah. Alright, so now I cleared some of that inventory. What I'm going to do is go ahead and identify some of these Satan weapons for you. It's the least I could do. Irma Kilma. It's an axe. It's got some decent durability. That's a minimum level 100. Grade 75. But you gotta remember, this is just the base form of the Satan weapon. But I definitely want to be a weaponsmith and make people's weapons, you know. In exchange, all they do is just give me a little bit of OC or trade me something of equal value, or, you know, something like that. I know I'm doing this really slow. Getting a lot of D degrees. And so yeah, so when you do these dungeons, when you do the dungeons, Satan drops those mats. The material is used to create his weapon. It's pretty much what he's for. He's basically here in the game for a weapon. And what you need to do is make sure that you stay on top of that to make the weapon. He also drops the recipes to make the weapons. So you can also give those recipes to Yoshizune here. And she will make the weapons as soon as you have the materials. You can also, I'll do like a weapon smithing tutorial and things of that nature later on down the line. But as of right now, I just wanted to give you a simple guide to Satan. I know it wasn't the best of runs. I wish I would have recorded the other half of the grinding I was doing for Satan. But and I did all of this without a boost, so I didn't care too much to put a boost on for Satan. I can grind. I can grind them at any time. There's like no need for reward up or wasting any boosts that I get. But I can also show you guys the probably the event or something, or you guys can also request like me to give you like some tips on some in-game bosses. So just give me like suggestions on other bosses you think I should give you tips for. And it's to the best of my knowledge, you know, to the best of my knowledge. So if I'll let you know for sure if I have been able to defeat the enemy. Also, I'll let you know how effective I am at running the dungeon. I won't give you tips on anything that I need too much help with, in that regards, because then, you know, it won't be so much as informational. It'll be like kind of awkward for me, but nonetheless, it could be a learning experience for me. But not everybody has to learn from me. You know, they can do that on their own, and then when we put our heads together, then come up with something to take care of them. See, a lot of things in this game just rely mostly on like circumstances. It's not even the simple fact that of me just like, you know, a lot of things are just RNG and it's just luck in the game. So it makes up a lot of people. Some people are very successful in the game. They get very good RNG. They know what they're doing, and things just always seem to go well for them. The more time you have to sit down and actually play this game and understand it, the more successful I see you becoming. Also, unfortunately, for the other half of people that know what they're doing, RNG is not their friend, and you know, they have to wait a little bit longer, maybe even for what seems like forever, to get the things that they need to become powerful. And you know, it's just how the game works. Everything's by chance, to get much stronger. And you can honestly, it's honestly like a trial and error type thing. You just try over and over and over again. But persistence has been proven to pay off a lot. It's been proven to pay off a lot. So just hang in there, guys. I thank you guys for watching my first Satan guide and my Onigiri boss series. I appreciate it. And till next time in the series, if I decide to make another video, or whenever I decide to make another video in this series, it will be titled something very similar, so you'll know. And everything else will be more specific if I do to make like any other videos. I plan on making more videos. Thank you guys for watching again. Get out there, earn money, and stay safe, and love family, you know, and take care, okay?